Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, and we are once again inside the Sunday Circle so that we can reflect on this past week as we prepare for the new one. So hopefully you are ready for me. Let's mosey on over to our brain dump document, if I can find that here with all the things that I have in here so that we can jump right in. Okay, I'm ready to begin with our Sunday Circle. So, first part, as always, let's talk about the agenda. It's always the TP3 for me, taking this opportunity to select your top priority 3 tasks. For me, it starts with AHSTF, always having something to say, something to share, and something to sell, right? So selling those irresistible offers, sharing messages with your audience that make you money, and creating at least one piece of content that you can share that will convert, right? So if we're working on these intentionally on a week by week, the goal is to keep making deeper connections with your existing audience while you make authentic new connections with the right people around you. Okay, that's the goal, that's the focus, that's what I want you to do as part of our week by week agenda. So what we're going to do is go right back into our prep your plans conversation so that we can discuss this week versus next week, right? So when it comes to the TP3, we're going to take this opportunity to think about your offers, messages, and your content. Going into the new week, do you find that you are going to mainly be in production mode versus pitch mode? And when we talk about that, it's really just thinking about if you're going to focus mainly on producing your offers, making offers, and actually putting them together, right? Or making an offer, presenting, pitching, proactively promoting your offers to your audience. I'm always asking you to think about and, of course, intentionally check in with me around whether you are in pitch or production mode right now versus going into the new week. Because I find it that usually maybe you're doing a little bit of both, but generally speaking, you're going to lean towards one more than the other. Okay? So now that we've talked about that, let's go on into those offers that I've been working on, perhaps you too. This is an opportunity to get some insight, ask questions, and make some things happen, right? I always love to say a Sunday well spent brings a week full of content. So taking this time to intentionally map out your offers and your plans, I'm just all the feels when it comes to this type of thing. So I have been in build a bundle mode, like literally building them, teaching others how to build them, breaking down the build a bundle process, all the things. So I've got a couple of bundles that I've been working on for the last few months. I've been working on my biggest of big bigs, the Digital Boss Bundle, number 1. And as you know, I've been pre-selling the Digital Boss Bundle as I build it out. It's really big. And that's something for you to think about, right? For some of you, you've got some really big projects, and you may want to give yourself the grace in this space to give yourself at least a few weeks, if not a few months, to put it together. But as you can see with me, you don't necessarily have to wait until it's done in its entirety to sell it, as I've been pre-selling mine and putting it together in the process. The content is done, just kind of organizing it into its links and categories. It's a virtual library of sorts. That's one that I've been working on mainly, number 1. And then number 2, for the holiday season, dropping quite a few new bundles, those being Brand New and Black Friday. So I have my Elevate Black Friday bundle, number 1, which is a hybrid of sorts. It's like a mix of coaching from me, direct one-on-one time with me, and then also templates that I've put together and digital trainings, right? So it's a hybrid in the sense of that it is got DIY templates, done with you coaching services, and then DIY self-paced training content, right? It's also a hybrid in that it's got a combination of some of my best things that are theme specific, and also some of my newest things that are exclusive to this bundle that are nowhere else. So I'm kind of breaking down for you some of the things that I think about when I develop a bundle. Is it going to be based on a theme? Am I going to include some real-time events? Am I going to include working with me? Am I going to include coaching versus done-for-you services, digital products, repurposed content, exclusive new things? Those are the things that go through my mind, number one. And outside of the brand, the Black Friday Elevate bundle, I'm also working on two other bundles, Brand You and Brand You Pages. So Brand You is actually a GBB offer, right? There's the good, the better, the best version. The good version is the Brand You starter kit, followed by the better version, which is the Brand You brand kit, and then the biggest version, which is the Brand You bundle. On a side to that, I'm actually working on developing new versions of my Canva web pages. You can actually build web pages in Canva, and that new collection is called Brand New Pages. So just kind of working out different bundles that I'm sharing with my audience that are strategically new things that I wanted to drop for the holiday season, number one, and then also in those new things, adding in some bonus best of content from things I've produced over the year, number two, right? So thinking about those things that you may strategically want to promote for the holiday season, end of year season, or going into the new year, number one. Things that are going to be new versus those best of things that you want to repurpose, number two. Outside of bundles, I am also working on kits, a bundle by another name, right? Kit, collection, bundle, they're all you putting multiple pieces of content together, right? So the brand kit is a part of my bundled collection, then content creation. So I love to create $47 and $97 content creation kits at the end of the year. It's something that I've been doing for the last couple of years as I continue to work on developing my own templates for clients, mainly right now through Canva, but also in Google Docs and PowerPoint and Microsoft Word. I've been meaning to dabble in ConvertKit templates as well, but I haven't quite made it there yet. But working on the brand kit, the content creation kit, and the money makers kit. So there are three things to consider there. Number one, the content creation kit is something that I do on an annual basis at the end of the year, right? So you can consider creating your own kits and bundles and then creating a one-time or once-a-year experience, and then every year you go back and you update it and make it better, right? Moneymakers Toolkit is actually a resource PDF that I put together as part of a paid premium newsletter. So every month there's a new issue of the toolkit with trainings and downloads and templates and all the things in there. The Moneymakers subscription automated program, while content creation is seasonal, Moneymakers is monthly, number one. And number two, it's an alternative to my live training, right? So obviously the live training program ranges anywhere between $47 to $97 per month. And for those who are not in a space where that's something that they can invest into, I wanted to offer them a reduced rate option that was between $7 and $47 as part of the Moneymakers monthly paid newsletter. So a subscription monthly kit versus an annual kit, those are two things to consider, the brand kit being a new kit, right? Brand new is something that I've been doing for several years. When I launched Brand New, it was a service mainly, so that I could say, hey, you want me to help you with your service, your products, your brand like marketing material for events, step and repeat boards, flyers, business cards, all the things, I can do that for you as part of Brand New. So it was one of my signature services. And then over the years, I've added on several Brand New specific trainings, now the Brand New bundle. So thinking about maybe having signature kits and offers, number one, seasonal kits and offers, number two, subscription-based monthly offers, number three. Those are some things that I can share with you when it comes to my kits. Do you have to do all of these? Absolutely not. But hopefully in the conversation, it's an opportunity for you to think about how you can work on diversifying your revenue streams from the same things. So the same things that I would do in a live training, once all of those live trainings are over, I can package, repurpose as evergreen content in the form of bundles, kits, and or monthly subscription opportunities like the Moneymakers Monthly Toolkit at SizzleSense.com/MMM. And by the way, if you're curious about any of these right now, you can actually go over to SizzleSense.com/daily deals and actually take a look at some of the resources that I have been putting together as part of my holiday sales promotions. Now, I don't know when you're going to be listening to this, those of you who may be listening on the replay side. So the Daily Deals page might be different than what it is now. So I can only say that as of now, literally the things that I'm talking about that I've been putting together, producing, and promoting over the last several weeks are visible on the Sister Sense Daily Deals page. And I even went a step further and created the Daily Deals template as part of my new Brand New Pages collection. And I am the kind of person who I sell and tell, where literally I'm teaching you something and I'm also telling you where the resources I've created similar to what I'm teaching are available, right? So, for example, I want people to look at the Daily Deals page and go, ooh, I like this page. I want to build one out. Okay, get the template, right? And that's something that I do with a lot of my resources so that you can see it, visually interact with it, and if you like it, grab it, right? I do that fundamentally with a lot of things. So if we're talking about how you get better at converting people, for example, teaching, outside of teaching private sessions like this one, I will either, number one, invite people to join me as part of my sessions. And when we talk about content in classes, I did quite a few classes this week for those of you who are in the programs, like registered for my Sister Sense Circle monthly program or my Jumpstart Your Business annual program. Those people participated in the training. And then at the end of the year, I also like to invite people on my email list to participate in some of these as gifted exclusives. Number one, as a sign of customer appreciation, but number two, as an opportunity to get them into the fold, participating in trainings, and giving them a feel of what it's like to work with me as part of my ongoing programs. And that's something for you to think about, those of you who are trying to build your programs, your membership websites, your organizations. What are you doing real-time, virtually, number one? Are you creating opportunities to give people a taste? I call those what? The TTOs, taste tester offers, a taste of your good goods. Giving them opportunities to work with you or participate in virtual trainings, things of that nature. So when it comes to making offers, these are things that I've been working on this week and will continue to work on next week outside of the web and graphic projects that I have for clients. The end of year, new year is always popping for me, baby. The entrepreneurs in my circle looking to wrap up or jumpstart their projects. So outside of these personal projects for myself, I obviously have professional projects that I'm working on for clients. And those of you who are looking for support when it comes to building your websites, landing pages, or print-on-demand projects, even digital products, check in with me, and of course I can support you one-on-one outside of what I do as far as walking y'all through your projects inside of our group training experiences. So now that I've talked about bundles and kits, let's go on into messages. Because remember, this conversation is threefold, right? We're going to talk about offers, content, messages, right? So when it comes to messages, this is important because, honey, if you ain't converting, I know you hurting. And for me, a big part of converting is communication. It's like the precursor to converting. When people are checking in, when they're asking you questions, and they really want to build a deeper rapport, a customer client, business, customer, consumer relationship kind of a thing, right? So follow-ups, voice messages, check-ins, webinars, all the things. So every week I am listening to and responding to voice messages. I had someone just recently, I think it was Turkey Day. She reached out. She's like, oh, my gosh, I am so ready for your Black Friday bundle. I just have a few questions about these bonuses. Can you explain that for me and perhaps others in the community? I love questions like that because not only does it give me an opportunity to clarify the offer directly to someone, but that person now gives me a sense of maybe I need to go back on my sales page and add some clarification details for somebody else who might be a little bit confused, on the fence, all the things. So I love to always tell you guys the voice messaging platform that I use is called SpeakPipe, SpeakPipe. I've been using it for years, y'all, and it is, for me, one of the most helpful things when it comes to conversion because it gives people an opportunity to get customer support, to reach out to me, not just via email, but via voice, because sometimes there's just things that just it doesn't quite come across the way you need it to in an email. Being able to say it via your voice without having to get on the phone with somebody or pay for HR support, baby, it's the win for me. So just kind of every week checking in with clients who want voice message, who have sent me voice messages. One of my clients was like, I need to talk to you. Like, the earliest, the early. What can we do? Little things like that, right? So my weeks are always following up with people as well. This is the end of the year. One of the things that you should be doing is thinking about people who you wanted to work with on some capacity, for partnerships, for marketing, for features, for excuse me, for converting and selling your products. Circle back and follow up. I spent about 30 to 60 minutes doing that this week, especially when it comes to people who we spoke maybe, I would say at least 2 to 3 weeks or even 2 to 3 months ago, making a list of those people and saying, hey, I just kind of want to circle back around, fill in the blank, right? And one of the ladies in my circle recently signed up for brand audit sessions where essentially I'm going to be looking at her content, and then we're going to have one-on-one sessions where I review and give her constructive feedback on her content, answering her questions. And that was about a 2 to 3 week process. First her reaching out, me having the opportunity to sit down and respond back to those initial emails, and then give her a package, and then her taking a few weeks to think about the package and then kind of circle back around with me. I think maybe once or twice she was like, okay, I'm still interested. I just need to kind of get some ducks in a row, all the things. But if you don't continue to follow up with those clients, you'll miss out on opportunities to convert, right? So weekly follow-ups, voice messages, checking in with my audience to let them know what's happening, what's on the calendar, what's live, what's coming up next, the 3 N's, right? If you don't know, now you know. LaShonda's 3 N's. What's now, what's new, what's next. If you're not converting, are you checking in? If you're not checking in, why? Why aren't you keeping your community, your email list up to speed as far as what's now, what's new, what's next? Now, here's the deal. I always say that I consider my audience to be relatively small. I am an organic marketer. And for me, it's about having a real community, right? Whether it be big or small, you have to proactively dig in. If you're not communicating, if they're not having conversations about what you're doing, what other people are doing in your tribe, what's happening next, nothing is going to happen for you. It's going to be like tumbleweeds. Just like, ooh, those tumbleweeds rolling by in that little hunk-a-dunk town. Nothing's going on. You have to create the buzz. You have to build the momentum. And a part of that is you putting some things on your calendar, proactively sharing those things as they're happening and what's happening inside of it, all the things. Kind of like we went to go see Hunger Games a few weeks ago, well, a week or two ago for my son's birthday. And when you sit down for the trailers, one of the first ones you get to see are the inside look trailers where they take you behind the scenes, right? Why? Because they want to build the momentum. They want to pique your curiosity. What are you doing in that capacity when it comes to messaging individuals, when it comes to messaging your email list, letting them know what's happening this week, and as of right now, what's happening as far as your holiday sales, responding to inquiries, talking about projects. Again, I am a service professional, so I'm always checking in with clients. One of my clients, we're doing a complete rebuild of her website, so we had a session where we're going through the current design updates that I've done for her just to make sure she's happy with it, answering questions and getting on the same page, right? So progress reports, I've said to you all, send me what? Your latest progress report. I don't say send me the progress report or send me a progress report, because folks will be like, okay, well, I sent you one like 5 months ago. No, the latest, meaning keep on keeping on. Keep on checking in with me, sitting down, mapping out your progress, and however many times you need to, checking in with me so that I can support you, give you some feedback, answer your questions, and you have the time to just kind of just sit down and think about it. Because a lot of times, folks, especially Americans, we are do. We're constantly in do mode. And a lot of times, some of that is busy work and not moving us forward because we need to what? Stop. STOP is one of my favorite acronyms. Stop, think, observe, proceed. Literally, sometimes you have to slow down so that you can speed up, right? And when you write a progress report, you literally got to slow down for a minute and reflect on what's going on, right? What you want to happen, what's actually happening, so that you can have that not only just to send it to me, but more importantly, to see it for yourself. It's kind of like when I have clarity calls with clients, which, by the way, if you ever feel like you need some calls, definitely take a look at my Black Friday Elevate bundle. There's quite a few calls in there for you, number one. Or number two, you can always go over to sistersense.com/call me. So the Black Friday bundle is at sistersense.com/Black Friday. And being able to call me pretty much any day is the sistersense.com/call me resource page, right? But again, progress reports, those are things that I proactively recommend to clients. So communication is to me, is at the heart of conversion. And that's where it starts, right? When people say dollars in the DMs, it's because people are reaching out to you in those DMs and you're having a communication. That's the precursor step to actually converting those browsers into what? Buyers. Okay. There you go. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Let's go into the next part, which for me is content, right? Content. There are certain staples in my business right now. So, for example, what we're doing right now, the Sunday Circle, is a staple. I have literally for a year now, every Sunday at 6 a.m. EST, whether I'm sitting here in my office like I'm doing right now, sitting on the porch, whether I'm driving from Myrtle Beach, whether I'm at the airport going to Jamaica, literally every Sunday without fail. Even when I was having a mini emotional breakdown, I got on for 15 minutes. I said, this is what's going on in Sunday Circle today. I got to go, y'all. Mwah, love you. Bye. Listen, every Sunday without fail, okay? Creating a space of structure. So every month, there are certain things that I do within my business, right? I do the, challenges, masterminds, workshops. These are different staples. Right now, I am working on challenges for my audience. We have been, this past week, doing the Build a Bundle Challenge, number one, and then going into the final month, I am going to be sharing the 100 New Subscribers Challenge, which is something that I've been doing for the last, I want to say about 2 years now, talking about customers and attracting new subscribers and customers to your business. So those are some things that I have in the works as far as content is concerned. One of the things that, like I mentioned to you before, is having my weekly webinars, right? That's something that I proactively do. That's what I sell. I mean, as a digital information entrepreneur, I sell my weekly trainings, whether they are one-off trainings that people purchase one time, or they sign up to my System Circle and then get access to all the virtual trainings I do every week, right? That space is content that I turn into cash flow, number one. Number two, at the end of the year, when I exclusively share invitations for people who may not be in my paid monthly programs or have purchased a one-time webinar training, but they're on my email list, inviting them to participate in these trainings is an opportunity for me to give them what? Taste testers, number one. Now, number two, how do I share my video content replays? Normally, my system, my process is download the replays, upload them to YouTube, and don't have them public so everybody can see them, but make them unlisted. Now, in those instances where I do create videos where I not only want to invite my email list subscribers to get a taste, but then I also want to go deeper, I will, when I upload them to YouTube, sometimes make them public. So for this week, some of my private videos that are normally only for clients in my member areas, I've made public so that they're searchable, so that my YouTube subscribers can see them as well. This taste testers, that's giving people an opportunity to say, oh, I like what I see here. Either I'm going to opt into whatever she's talking about in this training, or I think I want to sign up to her monthly program because I want a taste of that, right? What are you giving people, either your email subscribers or your social media followers or your YouTube watchers, to give them a taste of what you're doing with your paid members, right? These are things that I logistically do, and then they kind of sit and work in the background. I call those the WBTs, work in background tasks. So while I'm off to doing other things, people may be watching the replays on YouTube, or while I am working on new things, people may jump on a live stream. And literally one of the ladies in the circle, she was like, I think it was Dawn, yesterday or the day before I did a Finish Strong training, and she's like, I'm back. And so, back in the tribe, back in the fold, thinking about uploading and sharing some of those private things with YouTubers. To people all the time are like, Lashonda, how am I going to reach people? How am I going to market? How am I going to get new people to find my stuff without me paying for ads? Upload it to YouTube outside of social media, number one. YouTube is amazing for that, for reaching new customers, number one. Number two, giving people an opportunity to engage with you live, whether it's a live stream or a live webinar. I did quite a few of those this week. I'm going to be doing quite a few live streams in the next coming weeks, but for this week in particular, I just kind of focused on sharing some of my webinars with my larger audience via webinar trainings, and those who couldn't make it live, give them an opportunity to watch the replays, getting people back in the fold, or just being accessible to new people who organically find my content. Those are some things that I have been doing. So working on creating new content, specifically new versions of 2 challenges, one this month and then the other one for next month, building a bundle this month, and then 100 new subscribers next month, right? And then my weekly classes, these are the things that are mattering to me right now. That mattering. Does that make sense? I don't know. These are the things that matter to me right now. There you go. And so thinking about for yourself what matters to you, what kind of content do you want to put out, this is the kind of thought process that I want you to dig into. And then last but not least, when it comes to proactive marketing organically, independent of paid ads, I'm working on some new faceless short videos, just simple videos, mock-ups of what I'm doing. Like one of my latest videos, there's some music in the back, a laptop, and you can see the Black Friday, the cover graphic for my Black Friday bundle. It's faceless. There's no me getting in front of the camera, bim, bam, boom, right? So working on faceless short videos or auto DMs. I've done, I think, maybe 2 trainings in the last few months where I showed you guys how to automatically DM people information about your products and resources via Instagram. And I've been just doing that for myself, where I'll say, drop the word deals in the chat and on Instagram, and I'll send you some information, or drop the word CEO, right? Or the word crazy, just keywords that trigger an automatic direct message response. That's another marketing strategy that I've been doing more of. I'm actually going to do a training, not this month, but next month, the annual planning training, and talking about different trends to think about going from this year to the new year. And automated direct messages is another one of those trends for social media marketing purposes that I'll be talking about, as well as just digging deeper into live stream content at least once or twice a week for the next couple of weeks. So that, number one, in a nutshell, is what I've been working on now and will continue to work on in the future. Hopefully this breakdown gives you a little bit of insight of some of my content creation and marketing efforts, and some thoughts to think about when it comes to your messages, your content, and your offers, those that you're working on now or plan on digging further into the future. So the last thing that we're going to do is number 5, number 6, number 7, as always. 5, you want to think about, and every time I get to it, I'm like, I'm here. And then because I have so many pages in this thing, it bounces right back up. All right, 5. Okay. You want to think about positioning yourself for profit. So when you think about going into the new week, we always discuss the 3 R's: revenue, reach, and routine. If you really want to position yourself for profit next week, what are you going to sell? Get clear about that today, number 1. Number 2, who are you going to sell to, right? Who are you going to reach? These are things you need to think about, right? And then the routines. What exactly are you going to do every week, every day to proactively work on reaching your reach and revenue goals, okay? We do this every week, but if you need to take a screenshot, take a screenshot. What are you selling? What are your sales goals? Who do you want to reach? How will you reach them? And what are those micro projects that you plan on integrating into your week and your days to make it happen? That's what we discuss, number 5, each week. Number 6, your priorities. I've given you, 30 minutes of me kind of brain dumping those things that I've intentionally done this week and will continue to do next week. Hopefully that conversation has given you some ideas, and brain dumping those ideas, you want to use my TP3 methodology in combination with the Eisenhower matrix. So my method plus his matrix, all right? Brain dumping your desired top priority 3 tasks, number 1, and then organizing those into 4 compartments using the Eisenhower matrix, number 2, where essentially you identified what you need to do now, those things that are urgent and important, they're time specific. Decide what you're going to schedule. They're important but not necessarily urgent, so you can schedule them for later. What you're going to delegate. Essentially, while it's really something you need to get done, you don't have to be the one to do it. So it's urgent but not important that you directly do it. You can find somebody who can do it for you. And then, of course, number 4, delete. Eliminate those things that are not urgent, not important, or for me, put them on a list of future projects that maybe you'll do when you have the bandwidth and capacity to do those things. And, of course, last but not least, take action. Can't be all about planning. It has to be about the doing, right? But see, remember, at the beginning of this conversation, I said, folks, just do. Like they just jump into doing, or they just kind of like go on autopilot and blindly do. And sometimes that is to the detriment of their advancement. You have to sit down. You have to get clear. These PCS, personal clarity sessions, help me do just that, right? So you pause for a second. You stop, think, observe, proceed. You tackle your resistance. Whatever you feel afraid about, whatever you're having some fears, some challenges, some misconceptions around, if there are things that are blocking your blessings and your business, baby, You have to tackle your resistance. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck and stay stuck, spinning your wheels. Now, there are some Sunday Circle sessions that, trust and believe, you will feel me getting on that pulpit. You will feel it in your spirit and mind, because sometimes I feel compelled to just really deep dive into some personal, internal, or external things that make us who we are, but also cause us to find ourselves in challenging situations when it comes to growth, right? Blocking blessings in businesses, tackling the challenges, the fears, and the misconceptions. I didn't necessarily deep dive into that kind of conversation today. However, when it comes to resistance as far as people buying your stuff or finding your stuff appealing enough to convert, those things, I try to offer a few insights as far as what I do to help customers find you, to get a better sense of what you're doing, giving them some form of appreciation for being on your email list or following you via social media or YouTube, giving them value and working on your conversions, right? So sometimes you got to tackle your resistance, but in a conversation around conversion marketing, it's what are some practical things that I do to break down any resistance and create compelling offers for my audience, right? You got to get your ask in gear. Ask people what they want. Ask people what you want, and thinking about those things that you need and who you need to reach out to get what you need, right? In order to maintain your momentum, I like to work high energy time blocks. So I woke up, I want to say maybe about 4 o'clock this morning, but I go to sleep early. 9 o'clock is my bedtime, so I go to sleep early, I wake up early. Thinking about PCS, your personal clarity sessions, things that you can do on your own, to sit down and for a few hours work privately on your own with an accountability partner, or baby, you can work with me, right? Carving out those time blocks for yourself with a coach, a mentor, or a partner. Putting calendars together. So like I said, I give you a few little subtle things. Like I'm working on the Build a Bundle Challenge this month, and next month we're doing annual planning. Next month we're also doing the 100 new subscribers. Some of these things I do every single year, so it's not like I'm coming up with new stuff. I'm just really digging into calendars and things that I have put out and continue to repeat. That helps me also fill out my schedule without always going, oh my gosh, sometimes it's not even the doing, but it's sitting down figuring out what to do, right? And the calendars, I don't know about you, but they help me. I do sometimes create new stuff based on what I hear or see my clients need, but then half of the time I'm just going back and creating a space for us to do those things that are annual and or seasonal, and in some cases like the Sunday Circle, weekly, right? That weekly repetition. So working on your calendars, those things that you need to just kind of keep you structured and also create structure for your clients and customers. I use different apps and planners. As a matter of fact, my hubby had turned something off on his phone, and he was like, I don't want to turn it off because I'm not going to remember to turn it back on again. And I said to him, he said, can you remember? I was like, no, I can't. I said, okay, I want you to go to this little app right here. It's called Reminders. I went in the Reminders app. I said, when do you want to turn it back on? He said, XYZ time. I said, okay, here's the reminder. You're going to get an alert at this time to turn it back on. Listen, I use my virtual VAs, okay? My fur baby Prin, she's got her annual physical and I think it's her heartworm vaccinations, all those fur baby things. They call me, so they're my automatic reminder, number one. And then I set up the appointment, so she's going next week, Tuesday, right? So we get that done before the year is over, right? And then after that, I make sure I automatically put it in my Reminders app so I don't forget. Whether it be apps, whether it be calendars, planners, you need to use the resources around you if you feel like you're not doing what you need to do just to remain accountable and stay on top of your projects, okay? And then, of course, our Sunday PCS time blocks at least 60 minutes to 3 hours to intentionally work on the things that you need to do when it comes to reflecting on this week and preparing for the new one. Just the essence of the Sunday Circle is stop, right? You have to stop a second, reflect, stop, think, observe, proceed. Observe what happened or didn't happen this week, and then work on the new week. Like I always say, give yourself the grace and the space to acknowledge that, even with the best of abilities or the best of intentions, you can't necessarily do all the things in 1 week or on your own, but you should give yourself the grace and the space to acknowledge what you were able to do and then come back to those things that you want to roll over into the new week, new month, new quarter, or even new year, right, when it comes to this time of year. So that's it for our Sunday Circle to Special today. Hopefully this power session has been helpful to you. This is what I've really, at the heart of Sunday Circle, been wanting to do. Create these sessions at around 30 to 60 minutes. Sometimes I get on my soapbox, I get on that pulpit, and we on here for about 3 hours. But when it's in my spirit, I got to say what I got to say. But hopefully this power session has been helpful to you today. Definitely reach out to me if you have any recommendations or suggestions as far as what you would like to see in the Sunday Circle or within the Sister Sense Circle, period. I would love your feedback and recommendations as far as what you guys felt about this year and, of course, what you'd like to see going into the new year. Again, all the things that I shared with you as far as my current promotions and Black Friday good goods, you can find over at SisterSense.com/daily deals, number 1, SisterSense.com/Black Friday, number 2. And, of course, I would love to speak directly with you. Feel free to go over to SisterSense.com/call me to schedule a one-on-one clarity session with yours truly. Other than that, you can always email SisterSense@gmail.com, or while you are on the SisterSense.com website, just click that gray tab on the right to send me a voice message. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining today. Till next time, take care. Mwah. Bye.